It's the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in.
Has the way you do the flipping business changed at all over the past couple of years?
Yes.
What are some of those things that you would say have changed?
Number one, we spearhead. We are general contractors. We've been that for the past few years now, and that is probably the single change, but the biggest change, because what that has allowed us to do is have a lot more control over subs and pricing and materials and things of that nature. She can go further into detail, but that single thing, becoming our own general contractors, that has made a huge
difference. And like you said, not just obviously cost control. What was funny is we were taught to, and there's an element of truth in this. When we were getting our education and training, we were taught, to think as a CEO, right? So we never were the type to actually do the actual labor, right? Even as general contractors now, we don't actually do the work. We're outsourcing, we're using subs and stuff. But we were taught that, being your own GC was bad in a sense, because you were not in that CEO role. But I realized that there's a starting point, right? And we were actually losing money by, let me rephrase that. We're decreasing our profit margins. We were leaving money on the table by getting a general contractor. One, because we weren't their only project. They had our project and a bunch of other investors' projects. They weren't really carrying it. They were probably, or more than likely, I know, upcharging on materials, right? And the time it took, because we weren't the only project, our projects were taking longer, costing us more money and carrying costs, and we're having to pay gas, electric, and insurance and interest and all this stuff. So like Darius said, that's the single biggest thing that has helped us tremendously. And we're very selective now in our flips. We've done so many. We're like, nah, we ain't touching that one. It ain't even worth it. The time and all that has to go into it, and the money that we would potentially make, we can make that quicker somewhere else. And so we're very much more selective in what we're flipping. Like, it really has to be worth it for us to touch it now. Whereas year one, I felt like we were flipping everything with a roof. If we could flip it, we were going to do it. And we're like, nah, it's not even, especially when you have multiple streams of income now, it's like you can be a little more selective. So that's how I think it's changed.
Definitely. And as far as the criteria, what would you say, what are some qualities of a property that you would say, oh no, we're not touching this?
Oh man, it's all about margins.
Right.
It can look like whatever.
Right.
It can be a lipstick flip. It can be a total gut. It can be falling over, but it just comes down to money. If it costs too much and we know it's gonna burn us on the back end, like, we're not touching it. We used to do those hope projects where, okay, we're gonna pay a little bit more, but hopefully with what we're gonna do with it, we can get more money on the back end.
It's dumb.
After getting slapped over the head a few times financially, we don't do that no more. So at the end of the day, it comes down to the dollar sign.
Yeah, it don't matter how it look, because if you've seen some of our projects, they look like infested, like something gonna jump out at you. But at the end of the day, it's about profit margins. For us, our market in Louisville, the average is not LA prices. You can get a nice decent house around $225, $250, right? You're talking about, you can get a nice 3-bedroom, even 4-bedroom in some locations. Like, so those are our prices, just for context. And so you would have to, and we want to make around 40 to 50 minimum. That's our target for a flip. If we're not gonna make that, it's not worth it to us. Because especially with the flip, you're thinking, for us too, we're usually doing full renovations. Between permits and all of that stuff, you're easily looking at about 4 to 5 months just to complete. And that's not even including the sale time frame, right? And so you could be looking at maybe 5 to 6 months. And so I'm not trying to put in 5 to 6 months to make $5,000 or $10,000. Like that's not, I can wholesale, right? There's so much other things I could do to make that much money. I'm not going to do that. And so those are just kind of the things. It's really the numbers at the end of the day. The house itself is not the deterrent. It's what's the margins looking like.
Definitely. And I love that you mentioned that, because some people just want to buy everything. You know, they want to get into the flipping business. And I'm sure a lot of people who've taken your courses and who you've consulted with, I'm sure you've heard a ton of different things, right? And so to your point, it's important to be objective about it, and not fall in love with property.
Right. We were talking to one girl, and especially in the flipping business, especially new people, they think the only thing they're thinking about is purchase price, renovation, and sale. They forget about those extra costs, the insurance you're paying monthly, the electric, the gas, the water, interest, especially if you're borrowing money. And God forbid your flip don't go perfectly, right? We've never had a flip go perfectly. So God forbid it takes even longer, or your general contractor don't know what they're doing. They underbid you and you end up thinking, oh, it's an $80,000 project and it ends up being 100. Like there's so many things they don't factor in. They don't leave room for error. And so you see so many people getting burned from flipping because they're not really being objective.
Are you looking for a community of like-minded individuals and access to experts in real estate? Yeah. Are you interested in real estate but need more support and guidance? You know who it is? The Black Real Estate Dialogue presents the Real Estate Investing Community. No matter how much or how little real estate experience you have, we've created a community for you because your perspective is important. All right, tell me, where's the #1 place where you can do Q&A with experienced guest speakers 2 times per month? How about unlimited access to past guest speakers' recordings? What about a private Slack channel to engage in daily discussion with everybody in the community to share resources and support each other? Head on over to blackrealestatedialogue.com. That's blackrealestatedialogue.com. It's the real estate investing community presented by the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Come join us today.
Yeah. And so in terms of managing contractors, a struggle a lot of people have is stuff not getting done on time, right? I've experienced it, like everybody experienced it. And what I realize is for newer investors, it's very easy to be kind of timid and let them take control and dictate things. And we've heard plenty of stories, right? Like this is how a lot of people have been taken advantage of. So how do you draw the line between, all right, this is the schedule, this is what we agreed on, this is what we need to do, and allowing room for when things happen?
Yes. So I say from the very beginning, like establish that authority. A contractor will take advantage of you if he or she can, right? So definitely establish that authority from the beginning. I'd like to produce my own scope sheet, and that's basically, hey, this is the work that I want you to do. And we get that scope sheet off doing an inspection. So we know, we go through what needs to be repaired, what are the upgrades we want to do, and then give that to each of your contractors so you have apple to apple pricing. But also, so they don't get any fancy ideas, oh, well, all this needs to be done, all this needs to be done. You're like, no, I'm the investor, this is my property, I know what I want, and that's what I want, right? But then also knowing what you want for sure, right? So that's what the inspection's for, all that type of stuff is to know, have a game plan before talking to a contractor, what you want to do with that property. Don't use the contractor to help you come up with a strategy on your investment property. A contractor that knows nothing about investing, don't use them for that. Where am I at? So, man, I just lost my train of thought there, right?
No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. We were talking about management. I feel like you shared a good bit on that. And the next thing is, so something else that I'm sure you've seen and perhaps you've experienced, some people go into a rehab project, they may have barely enough money to get to the finish line and not accounting for when things don't go wrong. Well, not accounting for when things go wrong, where you might go over budget or things of that nature. What's your recommendation as far as that? Like, how can someone prevent themselves from being in a place where, one, their contractor is just adding on a bunch of change orders, or two, they just didn't properly budget and didn't give themselves enough cushion for when things happen?
Yeah. So you definitely have to build that in. It's hard to backtrack, but it feels great when you built it in from the beginning. So definitely have I say 10 to 15% contingency in case something goes wrong, in case a contractor, doesn't do his job and you have to get rid of him, or in case there's a surprise on the project. With remodeling, there's just so many monkey wrenches. There's so many things that can go wrong. There's so many things behind the walls you don't know, especially the age of the house, or a lot of other issues that could come up, and you need to plan ahead of time. And let's say, hey, you didn't plan ahead of time, then you have to figure out what you're going to cut back on. So you're at this point right now, what can I cut back on to get this project done? And the objective here is to make a profit. We don't want to just do this just for a learning lesson. We don't want to do it just to break even. We want to make a profit. So how can we do that? And a good way also not to let the contractors get too far ahead, too many change orders, is to stay on top of them. I like to say do daily updates, whether you can make it to the property or not. Have that contractor contact you every day and discuss what they got done per the schedule that we created before, right? That they agreed on. And we have to keep them accountable. And I also say do a progress evaluation. So weekly, have a more of a formal, okay, let's sit down. Where's the project? We're here at the budget. What can we do to get back on budget? What can we do to save more money? If we're on budget, what can we do to even do better as we move forward? Let's always try to optimize as we're going along. Not wait till it's too late. Now wait until we have, the fifth change order from a contractor. But as we're going along, step by step, let's stay on top of this project.
Definitely. And what I really like about what you went through is just the consistent communication and consistent updates. So when you were talking about how often you update, I'm like, all right, maybe I was gonna say weekly, but you said daily, which I like even more, because I'm just thinking in my own experience and, just smaller jobs or whatever, like they're probably not gonna be in a rush to give you any updates because they got probably other stuff going on, other projects going on. And if they could slide a little bit, they will. So I do like the idea of the daily updates and also the progress evaluation as well. Do you recommend this type of process and being on top of it for smaller jobs too?
I do. I do. Just because it'll man, it's a process that you just plug and play, right? So you do it even on smaller projects and you just know the rhythm, the system, you keep it going. Not only that, the contractors that you use become accustomed to this. We have to train our contractors. Every contractor that I work with, I've had to train on my system. They come in, just want to, come bang walls and, spread dirt, but we need to train them to, comply with what we have going on. We're the boss. We're the boss on the project. Yeah. And so I'd say small projects, big projects, let's do it. Let's keep this process and let's keep it systematized, right? Contractor, call them. There's contractors where I have a project, right? And I call them, say, hey, got a new project. They know exactly what to do. They'll go take a look at it. My garage door guy will go take a look at it. Oh yeah, we can keep this garage door opener, but the door, these panels need to be replaced. I can replace some of them, but they'll be different. The whole thing, right? My HVAC guy, he goes out and says, yeah, this unit, we can tweak it a little bit, can probably get through escrow. I can't give you a certification, right? My roofer, yeah, I checked out the roof. Yeah, I just need to repair a couple spots. I'll give you a roof certification. So if we have, a system in place, then it can just be replicated, small or large.
Right. Love it. Love it. And so how, you walk me through the journey and everything that has taken place and starting out with the flipping business, working with investors, working in different companies, coming back to business. So can you talk about what the business is doing now, and how that's changed from all the experiences you've had?
Sure. So right now, as far as the excuse me, as far as the investment stuff, right now we're trying to focus on the town we're in. And well, from my wife and I personally, we try to focus in the town we're in, and I'm targeting like 25 houses at a time. And so we're just going through there, and our model is that we want to help distressed buyers, of course, you know, not just the wholesale, but we want to find what's best for them in their situation. So for instance, if we can come in and maybe partner with him, remodel the house and then sell it and then split the profit, we'll do that. If we come in and you need to just get out fast, like you just need to go, we can do that. Different solutions like that. I think that, you know, we're now, my wife and I are in the mindset of, you know, really what can we do to help our community now? We're trying to build up our community, the community that I've ran from. You heard the story of me going to Texas, right? But the community that I grew up in, my grandfather helped build, you know, what can I do to help people in this community? And then with the investment firm I'm a board member of, we're in talks right now. They want to kind of expand. So of course they want to expand to Texas. I know Texas is very good, but I'm not moving there. I'm staying here, and I have resources, of course, in Texas. You know.
Hi everyone, Sam here from the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Make sure to hit that notification bell and that subscribe button, and to visit us at blackrealestatedialogue.com.